Why you should oppose tariffs economically, but you should be against China even more than you oppose the tariffs, at least if you're an American, probably even a European or anybody in North America. Let me go ahead and give you a little background on this. So tariffs distort markets. True markets set the price where supply and demand come together. That's called the equilibrium point. If your country can produce anything more cheaply than the rest of the globe, you should be the provider of the supply to feed that demand. The thing is, that works in a free market global trading system. We don't really have a free market trading system globally because countries prop up and protect through nationalist interest certain industries. Steel has historically done this. Auto, agriculture, because countries say, well, we have to protect our own agriculture, so we'll at least have our own food independence and food security. So what we've got going on globally is not really a fair, free trade arrangement at all. We've had protectionism for decades. The tariff situation will add to consumer prices. That is bad. However, we need to look at resetting the global arrangement with China. China does not want to be our customer here in America. They want to be our replacement economically and militarily. Our situation as the United States of America should be actually better. We should flex our muscles a little better, shall I say. And maybe it's been a little chaotic with what Trump is doing, but ultimately we should have a better trade arrangement with most countries than we do. We are 26% of the global economy right here in the United States with only 4% of the global population. We have the muscle. We should flex it. We should have better trade arrangements because in general, most every other country has benefited more greatly from us than we have from them. Now then, why you should also oppose tariffs? Because it increases prices. But there is another caveat to this. If you're from the Rust Belt, if you're from places like where I'm from, a factory community, Huntington, Indiana, you've seen the devastation of globalization, the hollowing out of the middle class, meth problems, unemployment, shuttered factories. So why did all that happen? Well, because the capital crowd, the Wall Street crowd that's cheering on right now, the repealing of tariffs, has all been fine for the last 30 years of shipping our factories and our blue-collar jobs overseas. So there is an argument to be made that tariffs and protectionism are actually good for the working class. Capital class, the money class, doesn't care so much, but people like us in Huntington, Indiana do. So in general, you should oppose tariffs because it creates higher prices and distorts marketplaces. It distorts economics, but also rent ceilings, minimum wage laws are also distortions to what true equilibrium points in supply and demand would dictate. So you should oppose tariffs economically, but you really do need to think about how we're going to reset the deal with China, because for 25 years, it's been very good for China and not so good for the United States of America. Damian Mason coming at you on my morning hike with my dogs, talking about business and the business of agriculture.